opening hand now. We have Danny Ward here with us. We try and get around as many of you as possible, and we'll kick off with Rob Phillips.
Hi Danny, Rob Phillips from Radio Wells, how are you?
I'm good, mate, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Listen, you've had a bit of time to think about it now. How big an achievement is it that you've got out of that group?
I think it's bigger than what people realise, maybe. I know we were getting written off a little bit, maybe before the tournament. A lot of different players from perhaps maybe 5 years ago. But we wanted to climb the mountain again, as we were saying. Thankfully, we've managed to do that, and I think we've got to give ourselves a good account of ourselves anyway. And
do you know who you want?
To be honest, I think we fancy ourselves against anyone. We know what we've got here, and I think we believe in what we're all about. And if it depends, it doesn't matter who we play. We just try and bring our style of play and our personality and character to the game.
One of the big decisions Rob Page has made is to make you the starter over Wayne Hennessy and Adam. How much faith do you think he's shown in you, and how do you feel as the Wales #1 now?
It's a good feeling, Rob. It's something I've waited a long time for. But Wayne and Adam have been amazing with me. I've known Wayne. I've said before, I've known Wayne for a number of years now. The support that he and Davo have given me, especially the last maybe month or so, has been incredible. I can't speak highly enough of the pair of them. We all push each other on, and the camaraderie that we have as a goalkeeping unit is unbelievable.
And you're relishing it, clearly.
Yeah, I'm enjoying myself. It's nice to be able to go out and show people what I can do on the pitch. And it's always nice when the team are playing well and we're actually getting some success. So how can you not enjoy it?
A couple more for me. The Welsh Government has said today they don't want fans travelling if they can. I'm sure there will be some Red Wall fans there, as they were in Rome last night, in the stadium last night, where you went to for your huddle. Are you coping with that now, or how much do you miss the Red Wall, and what influence can they still have?
No, we always miss them. The influence that they have and the presence that they bring to not just home games in Cardiff, but away games. They come everywhere with us. They are a massive part they're a massive reason of why we do what we do. We know who we're representing. They make themselves heard every time. It doesn't matter where we are, far up the echelons of the world and that. Amazing. But we know as a group, no matter how many are in the stadium, we know who we're doing it for. How many thousands of miles back home. We know they're with us 100%, and hopefully we're making them proud.
And last one from me, Danny. You've had thousands of miles of travelling, and I'm sure you've heard from back in the UK that Billy Gilmore of Scotland has been ruled out now with COVID, has to self-isolate for 10 days. What steps are the Welsh squad having to take to avoid that scenario? And is that, for every player, with the amount of travelling involved, is that your worst nightmare?
I think it's everyone's worst nightmare. It's the worst sort of scenario you could have in this day and age with the present world that we live in. But we've got an unbelievable medical team here who they've set out protocols and certain codes of conduct, if you like, to stick by, which will give us the best possible chance of retaining our bubble. And touch wood, we've managed to do that for the last year or so.
And quickly, give us what protocols? What do you have to do? Is it like washing cutlery and stuff like that? Comes down to that level?
Well, we always wear some really attractive gloves to when you go in and get your food and stuff like that, Rob. It's not pleasing on the eye, but if it works, it's working for us.
Danny, I hope it works for you on Saturday as well. All the best.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Rob. Nigel Adderley.
Thanks, Sarah. Danny, first of all, you've had a long time as a backup goalkeeper in the Premier League with Leicester. Is the mindset different for you now as a #1 in these huge games?
To be honest, my mindset has always been about being a #1. You can't imagine it, like if you sat on the bench. Obviously, you want to be playing. You can't have a mindset of doubting yourself, if you like. That's why we all play football. We want to play games. I've had a tough few years, but it's certainly something I'm relishing and I'm enjoying it.
And obviously, you've been the backup and you understand how maybe Wayne Hennessy and Adam Davis feel now. So does that help the dynamic in the group when you're training day after day during the camps?
Absolutely. You know, being a goalkeeper is such a strange and unique position to be in because there's only one shirt. You know, we can't go and play in multiple positions. Our job is very specific. But now the three of us, I think if you ask the other boys as well, regardless of who's got the shirt, you know, we make sure that the standards are high in training. We're pushing each other every day to make sure that people aren't comfortable. And like I said before, we've got an unbelievable relationship, the three of us. You know, there's a mutual respect there. You know, they're a good laugh as well. You know, Tony as well is brilliant in and around the group. So the camaraderie that we have is something quite unique and special.
And there's been so much positivity about your performances so far in the group stage. Where would you put those in your career so far? Are they right up there?
I'd say so, yeah. You know, it was a different feeling this time around. You know, I was lucky enough to be involved in the first game, 5 years ago against Slovakia when, you know, the feeling, you know, it was a little bit more calm. And I think that's an influence, not just, you know, myself, you know, all the other boys who were there. You know, I think there's maybe 8 of us who were there 5 years ago. We've got a luxury this time of being able to try and give the younger boys and lads who haven't experienced this, you know, things that we've learned or little tips and experiences that we had 5 years ago, we've been able to try and share and bring the boys on in the group.
And if things fall a certain way tonight, you could be facing Kasper Schmeichel on Saturday. How would that be?
Yeah, it'd be good. Kasper's a good goalie, and Denmark are a tough team. You know, we feel like we've played them every year. You know, at the minute we always seem to run into each other. But no, I think regardless of who we play, you're in the last 16 of a major tournament, international tournament. So it's going to be tough. You have to respect people, but we've obviously got to believe in what we want to do, and we'll see how we go.
And if it does happen, would you have to make sure you don't end up warming up with him? Because
well, I've seen Kasper play 2 times before. He's not bad. I think we'll stay bubbles and that in it. You know, Kobe bubbles will stay away.
Good luck at the weekend. Thanks.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Nigel. Beth Fisher.
Hi Danny, Beth from ITV Wales, you alright?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, listen, I think your story is so inspirational for many little girls and boys out there who maybe are in sport and it's not going their way. Can you give us an insight of what it's been like for you and how it feels now?
It's to be honest, it's something that was instilled in me from my childhood. You know, you can't affect what other people think. You know, people are going to have opinions, and there's nothing really epitomises that more than football. You know, everyone's an expert in their own right at times, but you've just got to keep believing in your own ability and work hard. It is really that simple.
And again, you know, going on down the sports person route, every sport person wants to play. You know, your friends and family would have supported you over the years, maybe at club, you know, when you're on the sidelines. But can you give me an insight again on what it's been like for you and them on this journey? Because like I said, it's an incredible one and one you should be extremely proud of.
I think we're just all on the ride, you know, at the minute. Not just my family and myself, you know, it's everyone. You know, all the boys are in the same position as what I am in terms of, you know, where we are. You know, we're a small nation, but you know, we've been doing so well for the last few years, and we've really put our country on the map. And hopefully that does inspire, you know, young girls and boys around the nation. Not just about myself or, you know, or Gareth Bale, Aaron Ramsey. It doesn't matter. You know, we've all got to. We're all contributing to what hopefully is a good outlook on our country.
And talking of small places in the world, you know, you're from Wrexham. How's the kind of the communication from them been, and what's the messages been like from them?
It's been amazing, to be fair. I'm not quite big on social media, but my family and friends have certainly let me know what's been going on. That's been amazing. It gives you a little bit of a reminder of where you come from. You know, I was in the youth team at Wrexham 13 years ago, non-league, and it was the best sort of upbringing I could ever wish for. So there's people there who've inspired me. You know, Joey Jones was massive for me. He was my youth team coach, an absolute legend of the game. But I think, you know, he's one of my heroes growing up, and to see messages from people from that club it's special to me.
Listen, it's not often that the goalkeeper kind of stays in people's minds during games because the strikers normally get all the headlines. But like we've been saying, you've been making them yourself. But I want to ask, what's been your favourite moment so far?
Probably when they put the group up on the big screen in the Stadio Olimpico yesterday, and it said Wales second, and it had a nice queue next to it. That was probably the best moment. More relief than anything. But no, listen, I'm no different to anyone else. You know, I'm embracing everything. We've got a great group here, you know, not just players, but, you know, staff and people around the place. We've been well looked after, and we're just enjoying it. You know, that's all we can do. We're here to enjoy ourselves and hopefully make people back home proud.
There was a picture of you FaceTiming someone from the pitch, whoever that was. They were lucky.
Yeah, it was Father's Day, wasn't it? And I've got a little boy, so I thought I'd check in with him and make sure he was all right. It's tough. It's tough being away from family, but it's certainly a Father's Day that I won't forget anyway.
I was going to say, how old is he? What was he like?
He's 20 months. He was having his bottle. He was ready to go to bed, bless him. But no, it's moments like that, you know, where you realise as a person, like, why you want to do these things. You know, it's proud. And then I spoke to my father as well afterwards. It's just surreal, really. You know, it's like I say, it's a Father's Day that I'm sure we'll never forget.
Well, you're making me well up here. Last one from me, before I start crying. Listen, you really have kind of given everyone hope in not just sport, that actually if you believe, you will achieve. So a message to all those fans out there and people looking at your performance and wishing all the best for you.
Well, you hit the nail on the head, Beth. It is literally, if you believe, you know, you work hard, you know, the possibilities are endless. It's, if you're lucky enough to maybe have a bit of talent to go with that, you know, just my advice would be squeeze every last bit of everything that you've got to try and get to where you want to be. It's you know, I'm lucky. I'm in a privileged position at the minute to be representing our nation, and you know, who knows? There'll be young boys and girls out there one day who'll be flying the flag the same.
Oh, listen, I'm absolutely stoked for you. Keep on going, yeah.
Cheers. Thank you.
Diolch, Beth. Ben Fisher.
Hi Danny, I know you just sort of touched on it there, but with the case of sort of taking everything in as well, your sort of surroundings and everything when you were FaceTiming or just before.
No, I was sat in the changing room, and then it kind of dawned on me that it was Father's Day, so I thought I'd best go ahead and speak to my son and my dad, really. Just a kind of off the cuff sort of thing. It's regardless of whether you're playing football or if you're in the stands, you know, that the time of year doesn't change. Everyone's still got family they want to speak to. It's just that I was lucky enough to be in surroundings that were quite amazing, so I thought, why not share it with them?
Absolutely. And in terms of the sort of squad and the team, it's quite unique, isn't it? I know we've spoken about it before, but not a lot of players have played an awful lot of football in the last season or so.
Yeah, it's a question that I've been asked quite a lot actually recently. It's more, I don't know what it is. Maybe it must be, you know, the dragon on the shirt. You know, it's amazing. You know, some of the boys who, you know, like myself, who maybe not been getting the minutes that they want, or it's just, you know, we come away with Wales, and I don't know whether it's the camaraderie that we have and the team spirit, the will and the desire to run and do the, you know, the dirty bits for your mate, you know, the fans and stuff like that. It's just, I can't explain it, but you know, all I know is that we're all extremely proud to wear the dragon on our chest, and I think that makes a big difference for us.
Yeah, you said at the outset that you think this is probably a bigger achievement than maybe some people read us. Do you think, given what we've just spoken about, that makes it even more impressive as well, purely because people haven't played as many games as they would have liked?
Yeah, but I think within the group, that's not something that has ever concerned us in terms of minutes at club level or domestically. It's because we know that when we come here, we know what we have. We know we have ability. We know we have threats going forward. We've got a brilliant team sort of bond and spirit, which can't be really touched. Very similar in ways to 2016. But you know, like I say, we have to be a close-knit group, especially when we're away, you know, at times like these, because you know, we're a small nation. There's countries out there who maybe have more footballing ability, but I don't think there'll be many countries, if any, out there that have as much heart as what we do as a group.
Yeah, and just lastly for me, in terms of when you're out in Baku, I know you've played F1 games and all that sort of stuff. What are you doing to pass the time in Rome?
Lots of coffee, dealing with a time difference from Baku, but no, to be honest, we just had some lovely pasta there. Again, you know, really embracing it. I think boys think that the tomatoes are quite different over in Italy as well. Like I say, we've been looked after really well everywhere we've been. Fortunately, you know, everything's been set up perfectly, and the places we've stayed, people have embraced us, and we've embraced them.
Thanks, Danny. All the best.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Ben. Rob Jones.
Hi, Danny.
Hiya, mate.
Just wanted to ask, you've spoken a lot about not playing too much over the course of the season, sort of physically and mentally, how difficult it is to go from not really playing at all to then suddenly going and playing every 3 or 4 games and the sort of psychological pressure that's on playing for your country in a major tournament?
To be honest, Rob, I think it's all right. You just embrace it. You know, we all want to be playing football. You know, so I think when the shoe's on the other foot and you're not playing, you want to be in that position. So whilst you are playing and you are lucky enough to be on the pitch, you know, you've got to embrace it and enjoy it. It's as simple as that.
I think you used the phrase not had the minutes you would have wanted. So therefore, do you have moments where you think over the course of this tournament that next season, whatever the scenario, you will want to be playing first team football on a far more regular basis?
Of course, yeah, but you know, at the minute I'm away with Wales and I'm concentrating on the job that we've got here. When I come back, what will be will be. You know, I'm sure there'll be conversations with the relevant people, but at the minute my job is to try and keep the ball out the back of the net and help Wales get through to the next round.
You mentioned using some of the things that you achieved in 2016 and maybe passing that on to some of the guys that are there for the first time. What sort of things do you think can you use and the advice that you can give them which might help them come the knockout stages?
Well, before the Switzerland game, we were just saying, like, if you remember the Slovakia game in 2016, the first 10 minutes we were absolute kamikaze, running everywhere. Emotions were through the roof. We had an unbelievable anthem, which I think still probably the best in history ever by any nation in my eyes. But you know, it was just to stay calm, embrace it, enjoy it. But ultimately, we're here for a reason. You know, we have to stay calm and believe in what we were doing. And you know, thankfully, we've come out the group with positive results. Got ourselves out of a tough group, and hopefully, them things that like back in 2016 and from the previous games we've had this in the last month is going to hold us in good stead.
And when you speak about the size of the achievement of getting out of the group, I just wonder whether effectively having 2 away games, given the amount of Turkish fans that were in Baku and obviously yesterday, that can be something you can see as a positive as well when you play at what will be now again a neutral venue in the last 16.
Yeah, well, we as football players, you know, there's no point in us playing in front of empty stadiums. You know, the football is nothing without the fans. It's I think I listened to Pep Guardiola maybe a year or so ago saying it's like an actor going on stage and then there being no audience. Like, you know, that's who we play for. That's who we do it for, whether it's club level or internationally. So whether them there, whether they're home or away, you know, we had our little pocket of Wales fans behind the goal over in Baku, which was special. Again, same again yesterday, but made themselves known, and it almost brings out a siege mentality as well. You know, when you go to Baku and there's 30,000 Turkish fans and only a really small minority of Welshmen and Welsh women there, it helps create a bond.
Thanks, Danny.
Cheers, mate.
Thanks, Rob. Sam Dean?
Hi, Danny. Thanks for your time. Just a quick one on Joe Rodon, who's obviously really stepped up last 3 games. I think everyone agreed yesterday he was a colossus. Just are you seeing him sort of grow with each game, and how good do you think he could be?
Joe, I remember Joe coming in actually his first camp a few years back. He was a young lad with Ethan Ampadu. I think they'd just finished the GCSEs or something just previous to Euro 2016, and he was quite quiet and got on the pitch and he was unbelievable. I think Joe has got everything to play at the top level for a long time. He's and on top of that, he's also a great lad, which helps as a goalkeeper as well. You know, you have to have that relationship with people. But no, he's top boy. He works hard. He's got everything. He's got quality. Okay, so what in my eyes, watch this space with Joe Rodon.
You mentioned he was quite quiet then. Has he come out of his shell as a bloke behind the scenes?
Yeah, I don't think he's had a choice, especially since joining Spurs. Obviously, Gaz and Ben are on him all the time. He's a funny boy, Joe. Once Gareth and Ben have left him alone for maybe 5 minutes, he's all right.
Brilliant. Thanks, Danny. Cheers.
All right.
Thanks, Sam. James Nursey?
Hi, Danny.
All right.
Can I check, please, the names of your dad and your son, if you're happy for us to publish them, and just I presume they'll be tuning in on Saturday and hoping for some more special family moments.
Yeah, my son, his name's Albie. He's 20 months, so I don't think he really knows what's going on. To be honest, I think he just sees the red shirts on the TV, and then he sees my face, which is a strange thought for him, I guess. But no, it's good. It's good. It's good for him. It's good for the family. You know, I spoke to my father yesterday, like I said, and it was a case of you know, I don't want to come home. As much as I miss you all, I don't want to come home. We're enjoying it, and hopefully, you know, we carry on getting results and qualifying for the next round.
Yeah, what was your dad's name as American? That's right, Danny.
Greg.
Greg. And just looking at some of the guys who've played in goal for Wales over the years, obviously you've got Southall, I think 92 caps, Hennessy 96. You haven't got as many caps, but in some ways you could obviously eclipse both those legends this summer, couldn't you, if the tournament continues to go as well as it is?
I know. Let's not run before we can walk, eh? Two unbelievable custodians for Wales, and it's a lot to live up to as well, which is something that I embrace as well, which is amazing, especially when you've got Wayne still he's still with me. You know, he has his in fits of laughter every day, so it's inspirational.
Thanks for your time. Best of luck.
All right.
Thanks, Danny. We're going to have to leave it there. Thanks for your time, everyone, and I'll be in touch. Wow.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.